Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about Edward the Man-Eating Train. Now Edward the Man-Eating Train is quite an interesting game on the platform of Roblox. First of all, for the benefit of my community, I want to make the distinction that Edward the Man-Eating Train is not Choo Choo Charles. If you look into the game, you will see they are very different, they have very different gameplay, and Edward is Grab Train and Charles is Spider Train. These trains are very different because Spider Trains can skewer you with their sharp legs, and crab trains can cut you in half with their claws. Now, Edward the Man-Eating Train came out 1 month and 1 day earlier than Choo Choo Charles, which is important because if it was a complete copy, all they had to go on was what 2-star games had shown in their trailers, gameplay, and debug stuff. So obviously, if it was a complete copy, there wasn't much information to go on. But I'm not here to say it was a complete copy because they have very different gameplay, and as I said. Choo Choo Charles, of course, is an open world adventure game where you have to survive and collect scrap, upgrade your train, and collect eggs to eventually summon Charles into a legendary final battle. Edward is like what if you took the very specific part where Charles comes up and attacks you when you're traveling around the map, and made that the entire game. Basically, the game is a wave-based shooter, except in most wave-based shooters you gotta deal with a whole giant horde, and you gotta hold them off. Instead, this one you just have a giant crab train from hell who's trying to kill you. And you don't have to defeat it, unlike in Choo Choo Charles. You just gotta survive. You see, the entire game takes place in these transition sequences or whatever, where you can kind of choose why you want to be there with titles. You see, you get tickets, I'll explain more about them later, but basically you can buy certain things with them, including titles, which basically titles are what you are while you're there. Basically, you're traveling around more than one island, several islands. You're traveling from place to place. Between those travels, you get attacked by Edward, like for 4 minutes or 5 minutes. Rather than on a small little train like in Choo Choo Charles, which is pumped out with MGs, rocket launchers, flamethrowers, and anti-aircraft guns, you're on a giant normal passenger train, which is made up of every single person's card. Basically every single person, because Edward is a multiplayer game, I forgot to mention that, gets a different train card. And you can buy better ones with tickets from either the main station guy or custom vendors at different locations. These cards can be equipped with machine guns, anti-material rifles, if you pay some Robux, but most of the time they won't be equipped with anything except a few boxes. These boxes can either be ticket boxes, which when opened give you tickets. Tickets are the currency around here. There's also medical boxes, which give you medical supplies when you use yours, and ammo crates, which give you ammunition when you run out of a certain amount. I should actually mention a little bit about Edward. Why don't we? Edward is... First of all, Edward is a crab, which means he has claws, which you can use to stab, cut, and slice you. Unlike Choo Choo Charles, would basically just use his face, rams you. Edward doesn't do that. There is a lower danger Edward, who is just more like normal Choo Choo Charles in the sense that he's just a crab train. He has claws, which he uses. And he can really cut, stab, and slice you with. And also ram the car, which will cause the physics engine to completely bug out and launch you 50 meters into the air. The next thing he can do is medium level, where he will get an upgrade on his top. He can either be a flamethrower or dual machine guns, and he can stand away from the cards and use them on you. Then we have Hard Edward. He has missiles as well as the gun or flamethrower. He can shoot those missiles at you and others. Finally, we have Nightmare Charles, which is all of the above as well as gas. Yeah, gas attacks. spicy wind. So Edward, yeah, let's talk about locations now. Much like in Choo Choo Charles, there are a variety of locations in between where you fight Charles. But unlike Choo Choo Charles, these locations oftentimes serve more than one side quest. Stations will have a variety of vendors. Some may have like one vendor, and others can have like 4 vendors. They can give you different things: titles, trains, guns. The only thing you can't buy is medkits, which you can only get from the station guy. Speaking of the station guy, he is the only vendor which will be in every single location. The other vendors will be in a variety of different locations and will have different qualities of items. So first of all, the first lowest quality is green, which is common or uncommon, I don't know. Then we have blue, which is rare, which is obviously better than green. Then we have purple, which I want to say is legendary, but I don't think it is. Anyway, the next thing we have is yellow, which is unique, or something like that. Time to talk about the gameplay loop. Now, many of my friends have already gotten disinterested in the game because they didn't find the gameplay very entertaining. But, seeing as I'm the same guy who played like 3 months of Aid straight, which literally has the same gameplay loop, and you're watching my channel, which is full of games with the exact same gameplay, you'd probably enjoy it. All sorts of things earn tickets. Now you may be asking, why do I need tickets for everything? Well, in this universe, tickets are the currency. They're used for everything except going on the train, which is a bit weird. So the gameplay requires shooting the giant crab train and not dying to the broken physics. Now, like my last review, the community is not the best part of the game. Probably because this game isn't very sandboxy. So the community has less chance to do funny things. Subscribe. Join the Discord. Anyway, bye.